At 19, Elise had hair that made strangers turn their heads in admiration. Long, blonde, and thick with soft ringlets that bounced with every step, it wasn't just hair. It was a statement. Her mother used to say her curls were spun from sunlight, and it wasn't far from the truth. Every morning before school, Elise would spend half an hour gently brushing, moisturizing, and styling. She loved her hair. It was part of who she was. Senior year was going well. Elise had a strong group of friends, was doing well academically, and had been accepted into her dream university for psychology. But lately, something had her stomach doing somersaults. A boy, Liam. Liam was in the class next door. Tall, dark-haired, with a kind smile and a curious mind. They had connected during a school project, and their casual meetings had slowly turned into something more. A shared coffee here, a walk through the park there. One night, under the soft glow of a streetlight after a movie, he held her hand. Her heart had fluttered like a hummingbird. On their fourth, not quite date but not just friends outing, they were sitting on the swings in the empty playground behind the school. Elise's hair glistened under the moonlight as it tumbled over her shoulders. She caught Liam looking at her and blushed. "You know," he said, kicking the gravel with his shoe. "You're beautiful, Elise, but I've always kind of liked short hair on girls." She laughed nervously. "Oh? Like shoulder length?" He shrugged. "Even shorter, maybe." "Buzz cuts. Shaved heads, even. I guess I'm weird like that." Elise's heart skipped. Shaved heads? She smiled faintly and changed the topic. But something inside her twisted uncomfortably. The following week, her anxiety grew. Elise couldn't stop thinking about Liam's words. At lunch, she overheard his friends talking. One of them chuckled. "Liam's got a thing for bald girls. Like full-on shaved. He says it's bold and honest or something." Her fork hovered in the air. Was that true? A wave of insecurity washed over her. She tried to imagine herself without her hair and immediately felt panic rise. No curls, no golden locks to hide behind. No soft strands to twirl around her finger when she was nervous. Just bare skin. Vulnerable. That night, Elise stood in front of the mirror, brushing her curls with slow, heavy strokes. "You don't have to do anything," she told her reflection. "He already likes you. You don't need to change." But the thought kept creeping in. What if he liked her more if she were bald? What if he only really loved women who were bold enough to bear it all? She tried tying her hair up. She looked okay. Then she tucked it into a cap. It made her eyes stand out. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad. But the image of herself with a bald head still felt foreign, wrong, yet the idea had rooted itself in her mind. 2 days later, on a quiet Wednesday afternoon, Elise walked into a local salon. It was the same place she'd gone to for trims and occasional highlights. Her usual stylist, Marla, looked up and smiled. "Elise, want your ends freshened up?" Elise bit her lip. "Actually, I want it all gone." Marla blinked. "You mean, like short?" I mean shaved, like bald." There was a stunned silence. "Elise, your hair is gorgeous. Are you sure?" Tears welled in Elise's eyes as she nodded. Just please do it before I change my mind." Marla took a deep breath, nodded gently, and guided Elise to the chair. The headshave process was slow, deliberate, almost ceremonial. Marla started by leading her to the wash station. Elise leaned back, eyes closed, as warm water flowed through her curls. Shampoo foamed and lathered, filling the air with the smell of coconut and mint. Marla massaged her scalp gently. Then came the conditioner. Elise felt tears leaking from the corners of her eyes. This would be the last time her hair would be washed like this. Her fingers instinctively clenched the armrests. After towel drying her locks, Marla guided her back to the chair. Elise sat down, trembling. Marla wrapped a white paper neck strip gently around her neck, then unfolded a shiny, thick blue PVC barber cape. It crinkled as it settled over Elise's shoulders. Marla fastened it snugly, smoothing the surface so that no curls peeked out. Elise glanced at her reflection. Cocooned in blue, neck wrapped, eyes wide with fear. She looked like someone else. "You're sure?" Marla asked softly. "I'm not, but do it anyway." With a sad nod, Marla reached for the clippers. The buzzing filled the room. Elise flinched as Marla brought the machine to her temple. The first swipe sent a curtain of blonde curls sliding down onto the cape. The sound, the vibration, the sensation. It was overwhelming. Elise stared at her lap as lock after golden lock landed like feathers. The thick blue cape slowly filled with hair. It was everywhere. In her lap, around her neck, sliding off the sides of the chair. Tears dripped freely now, and her breath hitched. Marla said nothing, just worked methodically, starting at the front and working her way back. The soft curls she'd loved for 19 years disappeared in minutes. Her scalp felt cool, exposed. Marla used a smaller clipper to even things out, then wiped her head gently with a warm towel. Elise looked up. A bald young woman with red-rimmed eyes stared back at her. The cape came off with a final sweep, spilling the remaining curls to the floor. She left the salon in a daze, her scalp tingling in the breeze. Liam was waiting at the park bench they always met at. When he saw her, his eyes lit up. "Whoa, Elise?" She swallowed hard. "I did it. For you." He got up and walked around her, astonished. "You actually did it. I mean, wow. You look amazing." She didn't believe him. "I can even clean it up for you if you want," he offered, pulling a small razor and shaving foam from his backpack with a grin. Like, full smooth. Too tired to argue, Elise nodded faintly. He sat her down on a bench nearby, pulled a clear plastic rain poncho from his bag, and carefully draped it over her shoulders. "Just so we don't make a mess," he said, smiling. He applied the foam gently, massaging it into her scalp. It was cold and tingly. Then came the razor. Each stroke revealed more shine. She closed her eyes as he worked in silence, humming to himself. He was gentle, even reverent. When he finished, he wiped away the last bits of foam and grinned. "There, now you're perfect." She ran a hand over her scalp. It felt like soft velvet, but she still didn't feel like herself. Not really. The next morning, Elise tried on 3 different hats before heading to school. A beanie, a beret, a wide-brimmed summer hat. She eventually settled on a simple, dark cap. Her friends were shocked. Some admired her boldness. Others whispered. But Liam? He was glowing. He held her hand in the hallway and kissed her cheek. Still, as Elise passed a mirror, she looked away.